welcome back on stage, Mr. Jared and Mr. Misha. Welcome.
Hi guys. So far so good? Anybody have any terrible experiences that can you tell me about? Anybody not have their luggage yet or anything? What are you pointing at? I do love your shirt, I'll say that much. Yeah, yes.
It's about this much too short.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's an extra large in Italy.
It's like most of the
It's an extra large in Italy, and it's nice. Is it?
I know the feeling.
Yeah, you do.
I went to an Italian store yesterday, 2 days ago, and they were like, "Oh, you extra large," and I was like, "Thank you." And I put it on, and it was a long. I was like, I didn't know it was a short sleeve shirt. He's like, "It's not." I don't know why he was French. It's not. I don't know what that accent was, but I'm gonna turn that fan on.
Last night we were at dinner, and Rob spilled some wine on his shirt, and he was like, "Oh no!" And he really wanted to save the shirt. Like he really wanted to get. It's a white shirt. He wanted to get the wine out of the shirt. He was talking about it in
It was
the
a
car.
white. It was a white shirt.
So everybody was like,
Red wine all over it.
This morning, you know,
I'm sitting next to him.
18 hours later, he's still talking about it. He's like, "Hey, the shirt. Do you guys think it's got a chance? Like, do you think maybe? You think maybe?" And me and Tim and Jensen were all like, "No." And he said, "Guys, don't sugarcoat it. Just be honest with me. You think I have a chance?" But last night, he spills some wine on it and takes it off immediately. He starts putting salt on it or something. And Jared gave him his shirt. And Rob earlier in the day had also lost the sole of one of his shoes.
Well, in all fairness, he didn't completely lose it. I think like this much came off, and so it was like the hangnail.
It's like
you
flapping.
pull, and it goes like that far up. He just ended up pulling the entire thing off.
When he left the restaurant, he had been drinking, and he was wearing Jared's shirt.
And the taxi cab driver was like, he walked into the taxi, and the taxi driver was like, no, I have no money. I have no money. He looked like
He had one shoe flopping, and it looked like he was wearing a kimono. Oh, that was a proud moment.
Yeah, when in Rome. Good call. Awesome. Before we just talk about Rob's clothing for the rest of the day, we're going to start out. I'm going to go with yellow flowers.
Thank you. Hi. First of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I have the honor to start us off with a profound question for the both of you. And it might be best answered after a few drinks.
We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah. And the question is, if you had to sacrifice one of your eyes for all the wisdom and knowledge in the world, would you do it?
Oh, I thought it was going to be which eye would it be?
So which eye would it be? What would you sacrifice? Here's a question, yeah. I'm going to say no, comma, but. One T. Or not arse, but. No, comma, but?
No, he would sacrifice his butt, is what he said. He would take it. My mic cut out right there. I don't know what happened.
Tim, would you all
Pop out an eyeball
Yeah.
for all the wisdom and knowledge in the world?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah, because with all of that wisdom and knowledge, I could probably make a new eye.
But that's a bit like the vampire question though, isn't it? Like, is eternal life a blessing or a curse? I feel like, I'm sorry to keep interrupting. I feel like
I totally forgot about cameras and the internet.
next year we're gonna be sending a picture like this. I feel like the journey. I feel like the journey to get the wisdom and the knowledge is where the wisdom and the knowledge comes from. You know, like I don't think it's an answer. I think it's the asking of the question. So, my one-eyed friend over here, I would just ask him. Mish, what's up? How's your eye? Cool. Hey, what is the square root of 1.9? I don't know why the question I would be asking is about square roots.
Yeah, you could probably use a calculator for that. I would basically be your Siri. You would just be,
That's
hey,
right. Misha, do I turn left or right?
left. Or no, right. Shit, sorry. I had a really great idea for an app the other day, which I'm going to share with you. It would be called something like Real World Directions.
I like already.
And it's like Google Map directions where it says, you know, the voice says, in 500 meters, turn right. But it would be up a little bit ahead, I think.
There's a tree.
I think you're gonna go right. No, not right, left. So the directions would talk to you like that, but it would be an automated. Isn't that great? Wouldn't that be?
It'd be like, and if you hit the train tracks and you've gone too far,
Shit, sorry, you've gone too far.
you're about to get rear-ended by the truck behind you.
The phone would talk to you and say, shit, I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with the area. I think maybe we should pull over and ask someone.
See, my version, I've talked about a different driving app where they just consistently keep you updated. So it's not like you're driving and, you know, you look at your phone, it's like, okay, I'm on the highway for 10 miles. It's gonna update me when I'm half a mile away from the exit. Mine would just be like, it would be Bluetooth, so you wouldn't have to touch it. But once you're on the highway, every 3 or 4 seconds, keep going straight. 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 And it could be like, if you were, you could change the voice to where, like, if you were in the ghetto, it'd be like, bitch, go straight. Bitch, go straight. Bitch, go straight. I don't know why they have a lisp in the ghetto. They do, right? Keep going straight. Keep going straight. Keep going straight.
And the highway would be littered with phones. Everybody would be like, get this fucking thing out of me.
And a lot of lost people, like, over the side of the road with a map, an old, like, topographical map. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Awesome segue. Mwah.
Hello.
Hi.
I have the question to both of you. Sam, Dean, and Cass had many action scenes of the fight to each other. How do you prepare for that in real life? Do you like to fight scenes between brothers and other characters?
We had I have a little story.
How are you gonna do it?
Well, actually, which one are we going to talk about? Our actual fight scenes?
Yeah.
We're doing a little ventriloquy up here. No, we don't fight.
How do you prepare?
Well, there's a couple of quick stories that come to mind. One is Toronto. Is that? Should we talk about that? We just had. It was a harmless little. We were.
Well, the night started with Senior Apples. I'll just interject this really quick little anecdote.
Yeah.
Which we're walking home from Toronto. We've had a long dinner that probably involved wine. And Jensen, for
Was
some
it
reason,
wine or tea that we had that night? I can't remember.
I think it was a lot of tea. And Jensen, for whatever reason, looks at me and goes, slap me in the face. I'm not one to be told twice, so I rear back and he's like, oh, dude, pulls out half a tooth. So it's like, I didn't mean like that. And I'm like, you said slap me in the face, man. I'm loose. Like, what do I do? So, then I carried on.
Yeah, just so you know. So that was the spirit with which we went into a wrestling match. Like that had just happened, and we were like, you know what we should probably do right now? We should move the coffee table in the hotel room, and we should just, you know, try to kill each other.
Sounds logical. Makes sense to me.
And we did. We really wrestled pretty seriously. Pretty vigorously. There was one point when, and we'd had so much tea that we really couldn't feel. We couldn't really feel anything anymore. And and I was like, you know, I'm wrestling Jared, and Jared is, you know, he's a little guy. And at one point, he had me pinned, and he was pushing on my arm in some way, but you know, a normal person would have been like, all right, I tap out, I'm done. But I was like,
Misha doesn't have those.
fuck him, I'm not gonna tap out. I'm not tapping out. And so he kept going, and then there was a sound that came from my elbow.
A couple, they're like 2 or 3
It was
pounds.
like, and Cliff was like, that's it! Cliff came from the sidelines and removed Jared because there was an audible sound from my elbow. It wasn't a big deal. Like 6 months later, it was almost back to normal.
I think I went up to Misha maybe a week or 2 or 3 or 4 later when he worked again. And I was like, dude, that was a wild night. I put up my hand to like give him a high five, and he was like, it doesn't go higher than this right now. And I was like,
No, but you had like a
I had bruised rib.
and Jensen had like a big scab over his whole face from a rug burn.
And a broken tooth. I was hurting too. My elbow was hurting.
Yeah,
my hip and ribs.
Yeah, we did a
It was fun.
good job.
It's an interesting wrestling match when the smallest guy in the room weighs 180 pounds. Like that's usually when damage can be done.
That's how we prepare for stage combat. There was a scene where I think that you were Gadriel or something, and you were coming. We were in this kitchen, and I had to do a one punch to knock you out.
Oh, right.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And everybody, all the director, Jensen, and a bunch of other people were in the other room looking at the monitors, and we did the first take. And everybody just started laughing, and they came out, and Jensen was like, that was fucking hilarious. Oh, you weren't kidding? Because apparently the punch, the one punch that I had thrown to knock him out was like...
They were like, oh dude, total gag reel material, but for real this time. Misha was like, what? That you don't think that would have knocked him out? Yeah, so that's a little sneak peek into how we train for fights. Thank you very much. Hi.
I had a question about Sam and Cass. What would have happened if they went to solve the case in India, Russia?
Very.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That
what
was a
would happen?
really good accent. What is your normal dialect?
My normal dialect? I'm
Yes.
from the Netherlands.
You're from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Because there was this sudden change when you were talking, and I was like, what's happening? I'm not familiar with it. It was very good. It was a spot-on Indio-Russia accent that you just did. So if we were trying to solve a case in Indio-Russia? I think, for me, I think, boy, this would be very... One time India, Russia, what is that? Everything gets gumbled up in my head because what I'm doing is very, very lost. I am around all of these Italian people and pasta and pizza and whatnot. But we would do really good India, Russia. Because we would have what a combination of Russian pancakes and curry paste.
Bundt cakes and curry paste? Why is that going to solve a crime?
No, that would be the very, very crumbs of that would be pasted around, and we would follow that back to the Wendigo.
I can't say it any better. Thank you.
I wanted to ask a serious question.
Bad timing on your part.
Yeah, know your crowd.
So the question was actually about the Cass and Sam relationship. And if these two characters so if they have an influence
If they had incest, what did you just say?
That's what I heard.
We're busy messing around over here, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, I think she
I think she said incest. Did she say incest? She said it.
I used the word influence.
That's not what it sounded like you said.
Would it be Sastiel or Cam? I have a feeling it might be Cam. Carry on, incest is awesome.
The actual question was if they have made any influence on each other, because
Oh yeah, we make influence all over each other. Is that what you call it?
that actually is called Sastiel.
Is that what y'all call it in Italy? Is it? Oh man, they're really hitting it off. They're gonna make influence on each other. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think your question is going very well, by the way.
Insane. Okay. One second. There's some influence in here. That was the first part? It was about... Wait a second. She's like, okay, you understood the first part. I cannot. Legitimately,
No idea what you were talking about.
And I have never been so excited to hear the second part of the question. And that's how it started. I can only imagine where this is going.
The Cass feels pretty damaged and lost, and so
Don't you mean Sam? It feels pretty damaged. After Cass has influenced him.
I don't think you want to hear the
No, we
want to hear the end. You're 2 for 2. That's good.
I will try to. So, they actually can give some advices to each other. Kind of help each other. To get over the situation.
Yeah. You mean like a reach around?
God bless second languages. It's been a while. My stomach hurts. I feel damaged and lost. Someone's influenced. I'm just going to say, yeah.
Definitely. Until they're just too tired to do it anymore. Until they're... Okay, we just cut ourselves off.
Thank you very much. That was my favorite series of. I don't know what to call it. That was my favorite thing that's ever happened while sitting in front of hundreds of people. I'm gonna stop myself too. Thank you very, very much. You are amazing. Please. In hindsight, the best part of the entire charade was, this is going to be a serious question.
What a great setup.
Hi there. I apologize for my
Beat that.
question. I have a question for Jared.
Go influence.
The other day, Misha said he would like to see this vacation season where maybe Sam could give Cass a well-deserved massage.
Would he influence on?
I want to know your opinion on this.
The world doesn't end things.
I think we just heard all about it.
Where
I'm not really sure where to go with that. So I'm going to say that Sam, Dean, and Cass all are in need of a well-deserved massage. I guess it'd be massages, because there'd be 3 people. Shoulders and neck. Shoulders and neck.
oh my.
I bet there are many people who would volunteer for that.
Yeah? Any advice? Advices? She's
We have a volunteer, a massage volunteer here.
well, thank you very much. You're awesome. Thank you.
You too.
Hi.
So nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you as well.
I have a question for Jared.
I'll tell you.
Let's hear your other question.
You said you like a band called Pearl Jam, and it is my favorite band. I love them. So I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite Pearl Jam songs?
I love the song Just Breathe. In fact, my wife, it was the first, many, but the first song I heard as a father was Just Breathe. My wife had made a birth playlist because she is in a natural birth and she wanted to have a playlist playing, and so she found some songs over the course of 40 weeks of pregnancy, and it was just on shuffle. And so she went into labor on Friday, gave birth on Monday, And then they sort of like, okay, the baby's healthy. All right, y'all go get in that room. And you sit there and you're like, and she was exhausted. She hadn't slept in 3 days. And so I have the baby. I have the still unnamed baby now called Thomas. And I'm sitting there and the baby is so like gentle and delicate. And I'm like, I'm gonna break this thing. And I can't sleep, and Jen's asleep on this tiny little hospital bed, and she looks like she's gonna roll off, and I didn't want to move, but I saw her computer on the desk in the hospital room, and so I just leaned over and pushed the space bar button, and that brought the computer screen to life, and I'm holding little baby Tom at the time, and I just clicked the play button. I knew it was on her playlist, because that's what had been playing. And so I pushed play, and Just Breathe came on. So that has a really special place in my life. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi. I have a question for Jared.
I'll take it.
If you have to choose between shaving your head or never play Sam again, what would you choose?
Those both suck. It's a terrible... I'd shave my head. I'd shave my head. Sam can wear a wig. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hey guys, in
Hi.
Russia here.
Yes.
Hello.
So I hope that you're having a great time just as we're all here. So I know that you guys like to prank each other. So I wanted to know what was like the most hardcore prank that you have ever had on the set?
I think it was on camera. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
I think probably the most hardcore prank was actually caught on camera, and my friend here was directing, and we really wanted to get him with whipped cream pie in the face. But he's faster than he looks. He's wily. And so I knew I had to do it quickly. Unfortunately for me, quickly equaled
Forcefully. For him, quickly means using your hips, winding up.
It was one of those, like, I just wanted to, and so also, I don't know if y'all ever had like the pie foils, like top pie, tin pan, you make a pie in, pie crust. You just put whipped cream in it, but if you tip it, it spills out because whipped cream isn't very substantive. And so I had to kind of go from this and keep the centripetal force to really smash it. And he had just come through the doorway in the Mental Letters library, and with not a word of a lie, there was whipped cream like 15 feet away, and it splashed. And I guess I thought maybe, it's not like a pound cake or a sponge bread where it would slow down. I basically just hit him as hard as I could with the palm of my hand right in the face. It was great.
It was awesome. It was really great. That entire week was a week of utter fear for me because Jensen and Jared had been scheming. You had a list or something, right? 30 or 40 things that they were going to do to me. And
The list we've been making since like season 4, by the way.
and it involved some pretty complex things, but I would get, I had a couple of moles. Like, people would come up to me and they'd be like, dude, whatever you do, don't let anyone into your apartment. And don't tell Jared and Jensen I told you that. You're probably thinking, who the fuck was that? I'm
Someone's
getting fired.
Someone's getting fired. It was a fun week, for sure. Yeah.
That's one way to look at
It
it.
was great. It was my favorite week of fun.
It was
awesome. I could do it
not
again.
a great experience.
I could do it
For being
tomorrow.
honest, it was terrible.
It'd be great.
Do it.
No,
Yes.
no.
Says the Ruski.
Idite Fitzorto.
3 people knows what that is.
Got 3 laughs. Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really nervous though.
That's okay. We won't.